Well, I decided I was going to rebuild my brake calipers on my 81 Turbo Trans Am, and I removed them. They were totally rusted, 30 something years of rust. You can imagine what they looked like. I soaked them for about maybe a day, a little bit longer. It depends. I would knock it off with a wire brush, all the rust, put it back in, and maybe leave it for another day, then knock it off again. This is basically how it comes out after the vinegar and a wire brushing. The problem I had was the pistons were seized inside the bore, and getting them out is ridiculously hard. I think the best thing is to put them back on the car and use the brake pedal to see if you could force them out by pushing the hydraulic fluid back in. The only problem is if maybe they're so seized that you might end up breaking the master cylinder, like popping a seal or something. But I wasn't going to put them back on the car, and the air wasn't blowing them out no matter what. So the only thing I did to get them out was I drilled a hole through each side, and then I put the guide pin, the brake guide pin, through the hole, and so it kind of went like this through the hole, and I hit with a blunt cold chisel. I kept hitting up at the cold chisel, at the guide pin on each side, alternating. You could actually drill 4 holes, 2 this way and 2 this way, and hit from more directions. That took a long time, a lot of pounding. I wasn't crazy about it, but it did come out. A guy on YouTube, he has an adapter to a bottle jack, a hydraulic bottle jack that he plugs right into the hose, fills it up with the hydraulic liquid, pumps the jack, and it popped it right out instantly. That's probably the best way to go. He sells the adapter for the bottle jack, so you can find that guy's channel. Let me see what else did. The bleeder screw was a bear to get out. That was ridiculous, and so many people say they break. So I soaked it. I don't know how many days I soaked it with the penetrating oil. I heated the bottom. Sometimes I heated the top. Then I would quench it with an upside down can of compressed air because it's like ice cold. And I tapped it a lot with a hammer. I even ruined the top. I kept on tapping the sides, figuring, loosen it up. My first caliper I was able to do that one came off nice and easy. The second one was almost like someone welded it in. I gave that to my friend because he has a better torch than I have and some easy outs. And with a little bit of heat, he actually got it. He tapped a socket onto it because I rounded it off, and he actually got it to come right off. So I would say the heat and the penetrating liquid is the best thing to get it out. And basically, these are the old ones, and they were all built up with crud on the bottom. So what I did notice, the reason why it seizes, the piston doesn't come out no more. And I would say, why buy new ones if you just buy a new piston for, it's cheaper. But the inside, if I can get it, those black markings right there that go all the way around, the actual seal sits in that groove. So this is where the seal is going to sit. It's going to sit inside of this. And technically the piston is a very tight fit in here. It doesn't really touch. It just rides on the seal. But what happens is, what I found is that black looks like it is the chrome plating that came off. So it made that area bigger, a smaller diameter actually for the piston to fit into. So and I can't even get it off. I have to get it off with sandpaper and maybe another type of a wire wheel. This is really on there. The other one cleaned up good with some sandpaper, but this one's it like became part of it. I guess the heat actually makes it, weld to it. But once you pop it out and clean that up, then what you do is just buy the new kit, a brand new piston. You can buy the seal and the ring, the ring that goes on the inside, the grommets, and you pop everything in. It's really easy to put back together. I had to take the first one I did, I had to take apart, and the air took it out instantly. This is it. I painted it with manifold paint. So let's say I put a new bleeder valve. Okay. I put a new bleeder valve in, new guide pins. The bushings are inside the holes, bushing there. The sleeve is there with another bushing. There's the rubber seal. Let's see if I can get a shot of. There's the black rubber seal on the inside. And the hardest part is the dust boot, which, to make it easy, I picked up the tool that puts the dust boot in. You seat it like this, and you hammer it down, and it seats it. It's just plastic, and it doesn't even feel like it. Feels like it could break, actually. It's very thin. I'm not crazy about the tool, but this is the actual tool that Pontiac has listed in the service manual, the J26267 tool. So I figured I got it, and I'll be putting it back in. So let's see, anything else? Well, basically that's it, and hopefully I'll get this installed. I gotta paint the other one. So anyway, that's that.